What if the moment she rejects you is the exact moment you become more attractive to her? Sounds strange, right? But listen close, because this secret changes everything. Rejection. Just that word feels heavy. It hits your chest like a rock, doesn't it? It stings. It burns. It makes your mind race. What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? Should I try harder? You feel this deep, twisting pain inside your belly. You want to fix it. You want her back. You want her to see you. So, what do? You reach out, you call, you text, you write long messages, you say sorry when you didn't even do anything wrong. You try to prove you're good enough, that you're still worth loving, that she just needs to understand. But guess what? All that chasing, all that explaining, it makes her pull away even more. Why? Because when you chase after someone who rejected you, it shows you're scared to lose them. It tells her she has all the power. It says, you're more important than me. And that, my friend, is the one thing a strong man never says. Here's the truth no one tells you. Women don't respect the man who begs. They don't desire the man who explains. They don't crave the man who cries for attention. They obsess over the man who walks away with calm, with stillness, with strength in his heart. They can't stop thinking about the man who stays silent, not because he's playing a game, but because he knows his worth too much to fight for someone who walked away. Think about it. When you don't chase her after rejection, when you choose silence instead of fear, something strange happens inside her mind. She starts to feel a storm of questions. Why isn't he talking to me? Is he really okay without me? Did I lose someone rare, someone powerful, someone I'll never find again? That quiet space, that peaceful distance, it creates curiosity. It builds mystery. And guess what? Curiosity is what starts attraction. Most men rush in, but the rare ones, they pause, they breathe, they disappear, not because they're angry, but because they're calm. And that's when her mind starts racing. That's when her heart starts searching. That's when she starts to miss you. So let me ask you something real. When rejection hits, will you fall apart? Or will you become the man who says nothing and still becomes the one she can't stop thinking about? The answer begins now. What if doing less actually made her want more of you? Not talking, not chasing, not begging, just living and letting her wonder. Let's talk about something most men don't understand. Space, not the stars, not the moon. I'm talking about space between you and her. When a girl says she doesn't want you, most guys get scared. They rush in. They talk more. They try to fix it. They try to prove themselves. But that's the mistake. You see, when someone pulls away, the smart move is not to follow. It's to create space. Why? Because space makes people feel. It makes them think. It gives their emotions time to breathe. And here's the strange part. In that space, she doesn't forget you. She starts to remember you. She remembers how you made her feel. She remembers your calm voice, your focus, your peace, the way you didn't fall apart when she said goodbye. She remembers the strength in your silence, and it starts to echo in her mind. You become the thought she can't shake. But this only happens when you stop fighting for attention and start living your life again. Go to the gym, read books, create things, work on your goals, spend time with people who love you. Let her feel your absence, not because you're playing a trick, but because you're too full of purpose to sit around and cry. When you move on, even just a little, you show her something powerful. You show her that you were never waiting on her. You were inviting her into your life, and now you're continuing your life, with or without her. That's when the attraction kicks in, because now she's the one wondering, wait, did I make a mistake? Why does he look better now? Why do I feel like I lost something important? All because you gave her space. All because you chose to be a man with a path instead of a man with empty hands. Remember this: when you chase, she runs. But when you grow, she pauses and starts looking back. And it all starts with space. Ever wonder why some men get stronger after rejection while others fall apart? The answer isn't in what they do to get her back. It's in what they do for themselves. Let's get real. Rejection can hurt. It feels like someone took your heart, squeezed it tight, and just walked away. Your chest feels heavy. Your thoughts spin. You wonder, what did I do wrong? Am I not good enough? But let me ask you something powerful. What if rejection was the greatest gift? Yeah, I know. That sounds strange. But stay with me. When a woman says no, she's actually giving you a chance to look in the mirror, a chance to grow, a chance to become something stronger. Most guys chase after her words, but wise men, they chase after their purpose. Because here's the truth, no one told you. A man's power doesn't come from being liked. It comes from liking himself. You want her to regret leaving you? Don't talk about it. Show it by becoming someone too powerful to ignore. Go build the body you want. Learn that new skill. Start the project you've been putting off. Get quiet. Get calm. Get focused. Turn your pain into power. Because when she sees you doing better, not for her, but for you, her mind starts to shift. She asks herself, wait, how is he not chasing me? Why is he glowing up without me? Did I just lose a real one? And here's the magic. You didn't need to text her. You didn't need to beg. You didn't even need to explain yourself. You just moved in silence. And silence screams confidence. That's what makes her obsessed. Not your words, not your sweet texts, not your efforts to win her back. It's your rise after the fall. The way you turn rejection into fuel. The way you level up all by yourself. And by the time she looks back, you're already on a new level. Now ask yourself, are you ready to rise? What if I told you, the less you try to be liked, the more they want you? Sounds crazy, right? But it's one of the most powerful secrets of attraction. Let's talk about something most people never say out loud. You don't need to chase love. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to fight for someone who can't see your worth right now. Because here's the truth. A man who needs nothing attracts everything. When a woman sees a man who's not trying hard to impress her, who's not begging for attention, who isn't sitting around hoping she changes her mind, she starts to wonder, why isn't he affected? Why isn't he trying to win me back? Does he know something I don't? That mystery, that silence. It makes you powerful. You're not cold. You're calm. You're not playing games. You're protecting your peace. You're not proving your value. Because you already know it. And when you carry yourself like that, when you walk like a man who doesn't need approval to feel strong, it shakes something deep inside her. Women can feel it. They sense when you have your own life. They see when you're building something bigger than just a relationship. And they respect that. You become the kind of man they want in their life. Not because you tried to convince them, but because you didn't have to. So next time rejection knocks on your door, don't open it with fear. Open it with purpose. Smile and say, "Thanks for the clarity. Now I can focus on me." Because when you stop chasing and start rising, that's when the magic happens. Now here's the real question. Want to see what happens next on the next stage? Ever seen a man smile after being rejected? Not a fake smile, but a real one. That smile, it's rare. And it's also very attractive. Let's break something down. Most people think rejection should hurt. They think it should make you feel small, like you lost something big. But not you, not the man who's walking the Stoic path. Because here's a secret most don't know. Rejection doesn't break a strong man. It builds him. When a woman says no, you don't fall apart. You don't get angry. You don't rush to fix it. You don't beg or chase or cry for another chance. You pause, you breathe, and you say, "Okay." That okay is not weak. It's powerful. It tells the world and her that you're not afraid of loss. You're not shaken by emotion. You're grounded in your truth. Most men crumble because they tie their worth to a yes or no from someone else. But you tie your worth to your mission, your growth, your peace. When you accept rejection without resistance, you rise above it. You send a message louder than words. I am not for everyone, and that's okay. You know what happens next? Curiosity, respect, sometimes regret, because when you don't need her to like you, that's when she starts to wonder why. A woman will think about the man who stayed calm, the one who didn't argue, the one who chose silence over drama, peace over pressure, strength over need. That man sticks in her mind because he's rare. So the next time you get rejected, remember, it's not the end of your story, it's the beginning of your rise. Stand tall. Stay calm. Smile like you've already won, because deep down you have. What if the quietest move you make becomes the loudest thing she feels? Sometimes saying nothing at all says everything. Let's talk about something most people miss. Silence. Yes, silence can be powerful. Not because you're ignoring her, but because you're honoring yourself. When most men get rejected, they rush to fill the space. They text too much, they explain, they ask why. They beg for another chance. But a Stoic man, he doesn't rush. He doesn't explain. He doesn't beg. He lets silence do the talking. That silence, it's not cold. It's calm. It's peaceful. It shows he's not afraid to be alone. And guess what? When a woman feels that peace, she starts to wonder, why is he so okay without me? Why isn't he chasing like the others? Who is this man who doesn't need my approval? And in her mind, a spark is lit. She starts to think about you, not because you said anything, but because your silence spoke louder than words. Silence shows power. Silence shows control. Silence shows that you have a life worth living, even without her. That's not playing games. That's living your truth. That's being a man who doesn't need to chase, because he's already complete. And when you live like that, you don't just get noticed, you get remembered. So next time you're rejected, try silence. Let her feel the space you leave behind. Because a woman can forget your words, but she'll never forget the man who walked away with peace in his eyes and power in his heart. What if the thing that makes her chase you isn't your looks, isn't your words, but the life you're building when she's not around? Let's talk about something very powerful, your purpose. Now, you might ask, what does purpose have to do with attraction? The answer? Everything. When a man gets rejected, many of them stop. They pause their goals, they lose focus. They wait and hope she comes back. But you're not like that. You don't stop, you build. Your life becomes your mission. You wake up early. You hit the gym. You learn something new. You chase your dreams, not her. That energy, that fire in your eyes, that's what makes a woman look twice. She may reject you today, but when she sees you rising, when she sees you growing, when she sees you smiling without needing her, she starts to feel something deep. Regret, curiosity, attraction. Because here's the truth. Women want to join a man's journey, not become the reason he loses it. Your purpose tells the world who you are. It shows that your value doesn't come from who likes you. It comes from what you're becoming. That's powerful. That's rare. You're not waiting. You're building. You're moving forward, even when it hurts. And that's the secret. When you become so focused on your purpose, you become the man she never forgets. So the next time rejection knocks you down, don't stay down. Stand up, building it, and let your purpose speak for you. Now, are you ready to learn how emotional control makes you stand out from every other man on the next stage? What if I told you the most attractive thing about you is how you stay calm when others would fall apart? Let's talk about something powerful. Emotional control. Most guys get emotional when a girl says no. They panic. They beg. They text too much. They try to explain and fix things fast. But that's not what strong men do. And guess what? That's not what women respect. Imagine this. She says, "I need space." And you say, "Okay." No begging, no yelling, no drama. You walk away, calm. You go on with your life. You smile. You stay cool inside. She might expect you to fall apart. But when you don't, she starts to wonder, why is he not chasing? Why is he not angry? Does he not need me like others do? And that's when curiosity kicks in. That's when the seed of attraction is planted. Because real strength is not in shouting. It's in silence. It's in your peace. When a man can handle rejection without losing control, it shows her he's stable. It shows her he's strong. It shows her he's different. Your calmness is your superpower. It tells her, I'm not desperate, I'm disciplined. And that is something she can't ignore. So next time your heart wants to shout or cry, pause, breathe, walk, and let your silence speak louder than your words. Now, want to discover how true confidence can make her obsessed, even without you saying a word. What if the quiet power you carry, the one no one sees, is the one thing she can't stop thinking about? Let's dive into something big. Real confidence. Not fake, not loud, not look at me energy. I mean the kind of confidence that comes from deep inside. The kind where you know who you are, even if nobody claps for you. Even if she says, no thanks. Even if people don't understand you. See, most guys try to look confident. They show off clothes, cars, money, muscles. But that's not what sticks. That's not what builds attraction that lasts. A woman doesn't fall in love with your shoes. She falls for how sure you are of yourself. She wants to feel that you're okay, even when things don't go your way. When she says, I'm not interested, and you don't fall apart when you smile and keep moving, that's confidence she feels in her bones. She thinks, wow, he didn't get mad. He didn't chase me. He must really believe in himself. And that belief, that quiet strength, that calm glow in your eyes, that's what draws her closer. Because a man who doesn't need to prove anything is the man who has everything already. You don't need to speak louder. You don't need to be someone you're not. You just need to stand tall and let your presence speak. And trust me, she'll hear it, loud and clear. Now, are you ready to see how your peace, your purpose, and your absence can make her chase you next? What if the moment you walk away with peace in your heart is the moment she starts chasing your shadow? Let's talk about something powerful. Letting go with strength. Most men, when rejected, hold on. They try to fix things. They beg. They wait. They hurt themselves by holding on too tight. But guess what? Letting go isn't weakness. It's not giving up. It's power. When you walk away without hate, without anger, without trying to make her feel bad, you show her something rare. You show her a man with self-respect. A man who says, I won't force myself where I'm not valued. I know what I offer. I'm not afraid to start again. That man, he becomes unforgettable. She remembers his silence, his calm, his peace, his eyes that didn't beg, his steps that didn't follow. And later, she starts wondering, why isn't he chasing? Why do I miss him? What if I was wrong? You see, silence makes noise in her heart. Calm makes waves in her mind. Your absence becomes her mirror. And if you truly moved on, not to make her jealous, but because you chose yourself, that energy pulls her in stronger than any words ever could. So don't fight the rejection. Don't fear it. Let it teach you and let it sharpen you. And most of all, let it show you how powerful peace really is. Because the man who can walk away is the one she ends up chasing. So now, ask yourself, are you going to chase what rejects you? Or become so strong that even rejection regrets letting you go? That's the real secret, and it's already inside you.